Hello students. So welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to study about the permanent tissues, the types of permanent tissues and in detail with respect to the parenchyma and collenchyma. Now see, permanent tissues are those tissues which are differentiated. This word is important. Differentiated means they have lost their capacity to divide. Okay, they will not divide now and they are losing this capacity to become either perform some specific functions, whether they are working as a storage or they are working for the support. So to perform some specific function, they have lost the capacity to divide. So we say they are differentiated. Is it clear? Differentiated means now they are designed to do certain particular functions. And the permanent tissue is making the bulk of the plant body. So permanent tissues are the one which have lost the capacity to divide either temporary or permanently. Why we are saying temporary reason is we have studied secondary meristem will be made. So secondary meristem means again these permanent cells can go for de-differentiation to for again become meristems. Is it clear? Now let us see types of permanent tissues. Now see, these are the types of permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissue, and it is called simple permanent tissue because it is made up of only one type of cell. Okay, so simple permanent tissue, they are made up of only one type of cell. And they are of three types. Simple permanent tissues are of three types. They are parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is again of two types. Sclerenchyma fiber and sclerids. Clear, beta? Now, complex permanent tissue. The name is telling complex means it is made up of more than one type of cell. The complex permanent tissues are those which are made up of more than one type of cell. They are again of two types, xylem and phloem. Okay, one is xylem and one is phloem. Now, what are the component of xylem? See carefully. Xylem is made up of xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber, tracheids, and vessels. Same way, phloem is made up of phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber, seed tube, and companion cell. So these are the types of the permanent tissues. Is it clear? Now we'll be studying in detail in this video, especially only two types of permanent tissues, that is simple. And in simple, we'll be studying only parenchyma and collenchyma in detail. Now let us start with the parenchyma. Now see parenchyma. Parenchyma is the first differentiated tissue. Okay, it is the first differentiated tissue. So we will say it is a very primitive tissue. And it is fundamental tissue. Why? Because from this other types of the tissues will be developing. Means your collenchyma, your sclerenchyma, all will be developing from the parenchyma only. And it is ground tissue. Why? Because bulk of the plant body is made by parenchyma only. Is it clear? You can say in the primitive lower plants like algae and bryophyte, the entire body is generally parenchymatous only. It is universal tissue. Why we call it as universal tissue? Because it is present in the root anatomy also. We'll be studying in the stem anatomy as well as in the leaf anatomy. So parenchyma, I hope these terms are clear. We call it as fundamental tissue, ground tissue, universal tissue, and it is primitive tissue. Now let us see the characteristics of the parenchyma. See, they are isodiametric. Isodiametric means from wherever you measure, every time you're finding same diameter only. Then shapes, it can be spherical shape. Okay, Spherical means this way. It can be oval shape. It can be round shape. Polygonal. It can be elongated. The different shapes can be there. When it is elongated, then in such case, we call it as prosenchyma. Elongated parenchyma is known as prosenchyma. Is it clear? And if you see, they are having very thin cell wall. Thin cell wall is present, means only primary cell wall is present, secondary cell wall is absent. Vacuoles are present. Vacuole is present. Is it clear? Then if you see here, they are developing the chloroplast. Development of chloroplast. Means plaster development is seen now. Intracellular spaces may be present. Intracellular space is also present. Okay, or very few you can say it is there. So these are the characteristics of the parenchyma cells. Now see few modifications of the parenchyma cells. Now see modification of parenchyma. If the parenchyma if they start developing the chloroplast, okay, then we call chlorenchyma. Means they develop plastids. And which plastid they have developed? They have developed chloroplast. So they are actually responsible for photosynthesis. Now, when they are doing photosynthesis, then they will develop into storage parenchyma also, because they have to store the food. So storage parenchyma, this is another modification. Okay, so storage parenchyma, you can see few areas they are storing the food. The food storage is there, and food storage we find in the onion, or you can say you can find in the aloe vera. All these are the areas where you will find the food storage. And sometimes they will store the water also. So we will say they are storing the mucilage. And you'll see them in the succulent plants, means xerophyte plants. These are the xerophytes plants. Your example is aloe vera will also come here only. Sometimes what happens, they start storing the other substance also. Ergastic substance, when they store ergastic substance storage, then we call them as idioblast. And they will store resin, latex, gum, other things they are storing it. Okay, now if suppose they develop intercellular space too much, they develop intercellular space, then we call them as parenchyma. And parenchyma is generally seen in hydrophytes. Hydrophytes are those plants which are found in the aquatic habitat. Example is your hydrilla or Vallisneria. But one example of terrestrial, this is again competitive point, one example of terrestrial which is having parenchyma is your banana. Okay, so these are the few things which we are finding that they are having the modifications. Is it clear? Now see what are the functions they will perform. Now see the main function performed by the parenchyma. First is photosynthesis. I think so logic is clear because they are developing plastids. When they are doing photosynthesis, obviously they are storing the food also. The storage can be of the food, or they can be stored some ergastic substance also. Okay, they can store the ergastic substance, and they can store some mucilage also, just like we find in aloe vera. They are responsible for secretion also. So these are the three main functions which are performed by the parenchyma. So I hope this parenchyma topic is clear, and all these functions are mentioned in your NCERT. I have covered all the points of NCERT. Now let us discuss collenchyma. The second permanent tissue is collenchyma. Let us see its occurrence. First of all, it is not universal tissue. You will not say it is universal tissue because it is not found everywhere. It is present in dicot dicot plants, and that also in the aerial part of the plant. Dicot plants, and that also in the aerial part of the plant. Aerial part. Aerial part, you can understand, it is found in the stem below epidermis. In stem, it is found below epidermis. It means it is present in the hypodermis area. It is present in hypodermis area. Understood, beta? Now let me show you the diagram. Let us assume this is your epidermis. Okay, this is your epidermis. Try to understand through diagram. This topic will be easy for you. And now see, I am drawing this layer of collenchyma. So it is not present in the epidermis. It is present in the hypodermis area. And check carefully what I will do now. If you see, you are finding intracellular spaces are there right now. But in case of collenchyma, intracellular spaces will be filled with chemical that is known as hemicellulose and pectin. Check what am I doing. I hope you are able to understand what am I doing here right now. I'm just filling all the gaps with one chemical, and that chemical is known as hemicellulose and pectin. So intracellular spaces are absent, and they are filled with which chemical? Hemicellulose and pectin. So obviously primary cell wall is made up of cellulose. Apart from cellulose, another chemical is coming that is known as hemicellulose and pectin, in which pectin is hydrocolloid. Hydrocolloid means it can hold moisture. Because it can hold moisture, it is providing the support. So corners are filled with the chemical. Let me write. Corners are filled with which chemical? Hemicellulose and pectin. Two chemicals in which pectin is hydrocolloid. This is important. Pectin is hydrocolloid. So first of all, it is present in the stem below epidermis. Then it is also present in the leaf also. Let me show you. See, it is present in the leaf also. Now try to understand where it will be present in the leaf. Let us assume this is the stem, this is the node area, and this is the leaf. Okay, this is petiole and this is lamina. So your collenchyma is present in this area. I'm drawing it this way. I hope you are able to understand. Collenchyma will be present on the margin of the lamina. Okay, it is present on the margin of lamina and is present in the petiole. So it is present in the margin of lamina and it is present in the petiole. So if you see, I have focused that collenchyma is present in the stem, it is present in the leaf, but collenchyma will not be seen in the root system. Root system will not have collenchyma. Okay. This is clear that root anatomy will lack collenchyma. Now, if suppose the dicot plant has gone for secondary growth, then also collenchyma will disappear. The collenchyma is absent in the woody plant. Is absent in woody plant. Woody plant means those plants which have gone for secondary growth. Is absent in woody plant. Means secondary growth is started. So you must have seen in the nature, the leaves are swinging in the wind. Your flowers are also on the stem, they are there. Okay. And young stem, if you see the grasses, they are able to stand against gravity. And they are still green in color. It is just because of collenchyma. The collenchyma, we will say it is working as a living mechanical tissue. The collenchyma is a mechanical tissue and the cells are living, the cells are still not dead. Okay, so we'll say it is a living mechanical tissue. It is providing the support. Understood? It is providing support. So we say that it provides flexibility. This is very important. It provides flexibility. It is responsible for flexibility, not rigidity. Collenchyma will not provide rigidity. Rigidity is not provided by collenchyma. It is only the flexibility which is provided by the collenchyma. And that is why the young plants, means your herbs, your shrubs, And young plant which has not started the secondary growth, your leaf, your flowers are able to stand erect. And when the wind come, if you see, they bend in the direction of wind, but they never break because they are having this which is flexible. Understood? Now let us see again one more thing, ki how many types of collenchyma are there. See, types of collenchyma will depend on the deposition, how they are putting the deposition. See, this is again, I'm drawing it, try to understand. These are the few cells I'm drawing it. Okay. And if the deposition is occurring in such a way that no intercellular spaces are left. If you see right now in this deposition, there is no intercellular space will be left out. And deposition is occurring only in the angle. Deposition is occurring in the angle and no intercellular space will be left out. Now see another diagram. We are doing deposition, but one or two places, if you see, empty space will be, intercellular space will be left. Check, the space is left out. Okay, space is left out. You can see, I think so, space is left out. Third one, they are first making one layer of this hemicellulose and pectin in the form of layer. And again, they are putting it this way. It's not at the corners, it is full and line is there. Layer is there, full layer. In the first case, it was deposition only in the angles, corners. So we say it was angular collenchyma. Angular collenchyma. And here this empty space, this space, I'm highlighting it with this color. I hope you are able to understand. This is known as lacuna, empty space. That is why this collenchyma is known as lacunar collenchyma. And in third one, it is drawn in the layer, full layer. So we call it as lamellar collenchyma. Clear? So depending upon how the deposition of this chemical is going on, let me write the name of the chemical also. Chemical is your hemicellulose and pectin. Obviously, primary cell wall, you know very well, it is cellulose only. So no need to highlight, but still for your understanding, it is cellulose. Now, what are the examples where we study them? So angular collenchyma is actually most common. It is very much common in your NCERT. Diagram is only of angular collenchyma, and you will be studying them in the stem of the datura, your stem of solanum. So these are the areas where you are studying it. Okay. And lacunar collenchyma is your finding in the cucurbita stem. You will be studying in the stem of cucurbita, and you are finding it in the aerial roots of monstera. Aerial root of monstera. Your lamellar collenchyma is also known as plate because here plate form is going now. So it is also known as plate collenchyma, and this is found in the sunflower stem. So stem of sunflower. Clear? Now let me give you the list of the functions of the collenchyma. Now see, first of all, the cell of the collenchyma are known as colocytes. And they contain chloroplast. So can I say that the main first function, they are also helping in photosynthesis? So they also help in photosynthesis. Is it clear? Then second is because they are having the hydrocolloids, okay, deposition of hydrocolloids, they are providing mechanical support. They provide mechanical support. So they are helping in photosynthesis. So we will say they are helping in biological activities. Obviously, that is necessary for the survival of life. And mechanical support means mechanical activities. Is it clear? And your growing part of the plant, such as young stem, your petiole of leaf, and leaves which are swinging in this way. So they are able to grow because of the collenchyma, as it provides tensile strength. So I hope this topic is clear today. Today we have completed parenchyma and collenchyma, two types of simple permanent tissues. Thanks for watching.